What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live Pendergast podcast on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to not only sit down with my friend, but the legend, Sergei, on the show, baby. What is up?
What's going on? Dude, I'm not sure legend is correct. Bellend might be more correct.
Villain, I like it, right? Villain,
Yeah.
legend, it's all the same,
Yeah, no,
basically.
that's like the UK guys do that. Am I a legend or am I Bellend?
Look,
So,
we already got one already popped up. Kylie, what is up, my man? He says, look at that beautiful Rusky. Oh my God, that's awesome. Anyway, dude, Sergey, I've been super excited about this. Sitting down with you, chatting it up. This is gonna be a proper mega time. First things first, this episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today. By Seth Starnes. He also owns Next Level Suspension, which many people know who Seth is. So yeah, let's go, man. Let's freaking go. So Sergey, bro, what's going on, man? How's the baby doing? How's the life?
baby's great. He's not quite walking yet, but he's crawling everywhere. And I mean, you've got a kid too. Like you see him crawling towards something, you know something is going to get eaten. So like as long as he's not in some kind of enclosure, it's like nonstop chasing him.
Once they go from crawling to walking to running, yeah, you're constantly chasing them. Fine. What you got in your mouth? Put that down. You're not supposed to put that in your mouth, dude. Yeah, yeah,
Don't eat
man.
that, please.
Yeah, don't. What are you doing with the crayon? Hang on, let me have a bite of that. No, don't eat that now.
Well,
Let me try that
I'm
crayon.
not raising a Marine.
Oh my God, we got Michael Kellum. What is up, Michael? Hyper naked in the house. Oh
Oh, yeah.
boy,
He's the man. All my suits are from him now.
I know
All
you
the
got that bright
ridiculous looking
yellow.
banana things. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. What was the inspiration behind that?
Oh, dude, it was a joke that just kind of like well, it wasn't even a joke. It was like my one buddy who used to make suits, Spartan Leathers. He's long gone, I think, as far as I know. He had like a leftover. Somebody ordered a custom Subway suit, like with a Subway
Nice.
logo and everything. And then like he's like, man, he never came for it. And I'm like, well, it's my size. I don't know. Throw me a number. So I got it for like, I don't know. It was like something stupid. It was like $150. It was a nice suit. Spartan made good stuff. He used thick leather. He was a legit suit company for a minute. And like I don't care. It's cheap, it's protective, I'll wear it. And then like everybody kind of got to know me as like the weird yellow guy. And then when Kellum was like, "Hey man, I'm doing suits," I'm like, "You know what? Let's just like," and you know how he does. He can't do anything that's not a meme. So every suit he does has to be like a joke. And so he got the Chiquita logos all over it. And yeah, and then I got a couple of airbag suits from him too. He's super cool dude.
Yeah, he's absolutely. I had the honor to sit down with him. I need to get him on here standalone, but he was on there with me with
Well, yeah,
Jeff.
with Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's absolutely amazing. Can't wait to meet him in real life. His suits are absolutely incredible too. So you're absolutely right on that. Let's see, dude, man, we got a bunch of comments coming in already. Um, I'll get to these here in a minute. Daniel Shoemake, what is up, bro? He says, "Yo, SV gang." Michael Kellum, dude, you crack me up. He says, just went from Slim Jim to Foot Long. Hot damn, Sergi. Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
And, dude, so bro, man, tell us your humble beginnings, man. How did you get into two wheels to get go?
Man, I got kind of screwed actually because I ended up like my parents said no bikes ever. So basically like no bikes while you live with us. So I ended up like basically like I think I got my license at like 20 through like the MSF classes, and I could only get a bike once I moved out. So I kind of ended up, having to learn the painful way as an adult. Um, and then rode street for a couple of years, and then one day I actually worked at New Jersey Motorsport Park as a fire and tow guy for years. And one day I was like, "Hey, they're doing little bikes on the go-kart track. This is really cool. Let me go wander over there, see what they're doing." And then like that was New Jersey Mini GP. Like this was, I don't know, 2008 or something. Like this is like oh, like first or second year of New Jersey Motorsport Park even existing. And I was like, cool, how do I get into it? And so like one day I showed up, I rented one of Ryan's NSR 50s and crashed that thing every which way imaginable. I felt really bad for it because he had like they were doing something like $50 damage waiver. I'm like, there's no way I did more than $50 a damage to this thing. Like they crash well, but not that well. So yeah, and then I was hooked. I was just kind of like, I'm gonna I'm gonna go race minis. And I did that for years. I did that like it's it's got to be at least 8 years, like pretty much straight. And then a bunch of like my mini bike friends were like, "Hey man, you should go do an Azra endurance like Azra team challenge with us." I'm like, okay, I don't. I've I've barely done big bike track days. Like I've had big bikes, I've had them on track, but like I could probably count the on number of big bike track days on one hand that I've done prior to going racing with big bikes. So showed up to Summit Point. It was basically like, hey, we'll use my bike because it's already prepped. We've got numbers for it. Just you know, we'll sign you up. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, I know how to race. Um, I know all that stuff, but I'm not quick on big bikes. And then so I show up to Summit and we do we were supposed to split it. It's a 2-hour race, so we were supposed to split it into like 3 40-minute things. And the guy who owned the bike, he was back in after like 6 laps or something because he was cramping or something like that. He just wasn't doing it. So the other guy did like 40 minutes, and I'm out there for an hour by myself, like basically just rocking this SV. Um, Definitely deep end of the pool as far as racing goes because it was like I have a great picture somewhere of like me getting passed by I think it was Lloyd Bailey, the guy that died like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Um, and like the nicest red bike ever passing the rattiest SV650 ever. And then that was a great time. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this big bike thing. So then Azra does like if you're an NJ Mini racer, if you've raced with NJ Mini, they just do a license waiver. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me pay my money and sign up for like full on racing. And then last year my son was born, so I got a couple of track days teaching in there. I didn't really do any racing last year, and this year, you're not gonna go race when there's a 1-year-old in the house. It's just not like nobody's gonna let you have that kind of time.
You
Like,
are racing. You're just racing, chasing his butt around
yeah,
all the time. Yeah.
my wife is super supportive. She's letting me do a few teaching track days and like, whatever other track days. But like going racing, she's like, no, we're not spending 2 grand on a weekend and you're gone for 3 days, 4 days straight. Oh, yeah. So anyway, after that, I got a really cool opportunity. Four Dudes on a Twin, Master Steve, and like Robbie Chicolo Jr. I think you've talked to him before at some point. They invited me to do an endurance series with them a couple of years ago, and I didn't get like endurance racing is great. I just didn't get much time because like we were always Steve was trying to run 3 teams simultaneously because he was helping the bike experience guys. He had like the B team, and it's not fair to call them that, but that was like the B bike. Because they were quite quick in their own right. So we were doing like I was on the A bike 142, but you know, every Weira round, the closest one to us was Pitt, and that's 6 hours away. And then the next closest was like 12 hours away. So like it was just killing me with the driving to Georgia effectively all the time.
Oh, for
So
sure.
yeah, did a little bit of did a variety of racing. My heart's still in minis. I just don't get to go much anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to get down to SFL Mini GP in Florida and ride with them. So I've always been a huge fan of mini racing. I think it's pretty much the most fun you can have on two wheels.
Safest, cheapest, most fun thing.
Facts.
You crash 20 times a day and you don't even really have much of a scuff on your suit. Like, I think I had one injury in like easily 8 seasons of mini racing.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, minis is, speaking of minis, Sergi, what advice would you give to people that are listening to this, or going to listen to it, that's interested in getting involved in minis? What advice would you give to them starting out?
So find your local org, whatever your local org is. If it's New Jersey Mini GP, if it's SFL Mini GP, there's a bunch of guys out west. You just had somebody on your podcast. I didn't listen to it yet, but there was somebody doing. Dude,
I'm
I
just
listen.
joking,
I
bro.
listen when I'm driving, and
I know I'm joking.
I'm baby Uber for like 10 minutes a day. That's about it.
Right. Baby lift.
Yeah. So find your local org, just come out to a day, ask questions, hang out, everybody. So go-karts, like we see go-kart people all the time because we're at the same tracks as them. Go-kart dads are like soccer dads. They're all like, they think they're creating the next Schumacher. Mini families, like they will give you a shirt off their back. There's like 5 guys working on your bike to get you back out there. They'll punt you off the track, but they want you out there because it's no fun if you're by yourself. The entire point of these orgs is kind of getting everybody in. And it's a great time for kids, obviously, because they're learning. And it's a great time for dads because the adult classes are, especially the spec classes, we're serious, not serious. Like banging bars, you have amazing races, whether you're last in the pack, whether you're first in the pack, you're gonna be doing really well.
Oh, for sure.
You're
Yeah,
gonna have
it's
But yeah, like if you don't know what makes sense for your org, find your local org. I'm sure somebody on the stream will tell you, or like, we all know each other. Find your local org, find whether it's Sandy Hook, Jersey, DMV Mini GP, SFL Mini GP, like I just know the East Coast guys. Come out, they'll tell you everything you need. But the number one thing, don't chase the shiny bikes. Get a spec bike. If somebody passes you on a spec bike, it's because they know something, not because they spent more money. Like all the like F2, like the 150Rs, like the built to the gills bikes, they're almost as expensive to run as a full on race bike. An XR100 costs you $2,000 setup, or TTR 125 or whatever, costs you like $2,000 setup. Tires last you a season and a half. Literally no repairs ever needed. They're hard to blow up. They're cheap to run. And if somebody's going around you, they're not cheating on engine. Do what they do. Try to steal speed off them. Get behind them. Try to do what they do, even if it's for a couple of corners. When they run away, the next guy that passes you, try to steal speed off him.
that's how you learn and progress too, as well. So, yeah, I'm a big advocate of that. I actually got me a CRF 100, and I love that little thing. It's so much
dude,
fun to ride.
XR100s,
Yeah.
Spec 100, Formula One, however the classing goes, best bang for your buck. Nothing you can do that's more affordable and easy to get into.
Put the smiles from miles on your face for
Oh,
sure.
dude, yeah, bang for buck. Like, so I started on an NSR 50, and dude, I don't know, I must have done like 5,000 miles on that bike on tracks.
I love it, man. Yeah, I mean the small bikes they're simple, they're not complicated. There's hardly any electronics on it. It's just fairly easy to maintain. And like you said, I crashed the shit out of my bike. Like literally, the most damage I've done was one of the engine cases where I slid the shit out of it after 30 times. And my handlebars, right? Let's just be honest, the
Yeah,
handlebars are
and
always
those cases are dry on the XR. Like you can crack the left side cover and nothing happens.
nothing. Yeah, it's just bang for the buck, people. And the cool thing is, like, to pick up where Sergi was, you go to SFL Mini, whether it's Jersey, Florida, wherever, you don't have to have anything. You just register, show up. They provide your leathers, your boots, your gloves, the bikes, and you can even rent a bike if you're in the market. Hey, I want to maybe buy an XR 100 or a TTR 125. You can rent it there, track it, and then go out and go spend your money if you like it.
Oh,
So
and the 3-day camps, especially if you have kids, That is an absolute banger for getting good quickly. Because all the guys teaching are super good at getting kids up to speed. All those kids are like by the end of the 3 day, there's a non-zero chance that your 6-year-old is dragging knees.
Right, right. So speaking of that, I'm a dad. You're a dad. Is this something obviously you want to get your son into as well?
Dude, I would love it, but you know how like if you force your kids into something, they're gonna be like, eh. So I'm gonna make it available. Obviously, he's gonna have the like Strider bikes and like the Stasic or whatever E-Strider, whatever the hell those things are called. Is gonna be available to him if he wants it. Absolutely, all in, and it helps to have a dad who can do some of the work on the bike because there's a lot of guys out there that like bring their kid, but then they got to pay somebody to run the bike for them. It's absolutely going to be available. It's absolutely going to be something that like is the carrot because like hey, as long as you do good in school and behave and don't get in trouble, we're every weekend that you're good, we're going. But if he wants to, I don't know if I can help ride horses. I don't think I can afford horses, but if he wants to do something else, that's cool. Like, you know,
Yeah,
these are hobbies where I have no aspirations of like trying to make the next Rossi. And if you try to, you will fail because um, the kid's gonna see it as a job and hate it.
yeah. No,
Like if it stops being fun, it needs to
they're
stop.
done. Yeah, 100%. So obviously, when I found out I was having a boy, I was like, yes, exactly what you said. Moto GP world champ, at least world superbike, like Moto America, we got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought him a Strider. Dude, he had a TTR 50 and a Strider before he was even born. So obviously, I wanted big things from him. He grew up and he loves to go to the races. He loves to hang out with friends. He does ride every once in a while, but he's not into it like I am. And I don't never force it. I'm like, hey, you want to go put the Xbox controller down? Let's go ride the dirt bike. He's like, yeah, maybe later, right? And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll go ride it then. He's in there playing. I'm out there in the yard, right?
Dude,
So
yeah, I live in a townhouse, so I don't have that, but, like, we'll figure something out. I'm sure I have friends with a yard.
110%. It's and something that I tell him too, Sergey. I'm like, look, I'm never going to force you to do anything you want to do. If you want to be a professional poker player, dancer, whatever you want to do, I fully support you
Yeah,
110%.
dude, give you
So
I'll give you the tools, but, if it's not gonna don't make this a 5-minute thing that costs 5 grand to get into, but, dip your toes in, see if you like it, and then if we wanna go full retard, we'll go full retard.
you don't never go full retard because you don't come back, right? And look at
Yeah.
us, we're full retard.
Oh,
So
dude, absolutely. I don't think so, I don't know how to I mean, I know how to half-ass a lot of things, but things I'm into, I have to be all into it.
that's me, man. 110%. If not, I feel like I let myself down. And what a feeling it is to let yourself down, right? You're like, yeah, gotta be
Yeah.
all in
Well
100%.
so that and, like, I always wanna be on the other side of the fence. I don't wanna be just a consumer. I wanna be if I'm not racing, I wanna be a vendor. I wanna be pit crew for somebody. I wanna be, the fire guy, whatever, like, it gives you a little more, like, skin in the game as far as whatever's happening.
No, I agree. I feel you
You're
on that.
that much more invested because, like, being a consumer, like, okay, spend the entire weekend on the couch watching football. Like, okay, what did you gain out of it? Nothing. Like, here, I'm working on a bike, I'm learning stuff, or I'm riding, or I'm, interacting with customers, whatever it is, I wanna be, like, a little on the other side of the fence a little bit.
No, I feel you, and that's part of being in love with this sport, helping out the sport, and just want to be involved at all times, right? But if you do want to sit on the couch and watch football and eat hot wings, you can at least bring us some and share the love, right?
Well,
So
you know what? If you're gonna spend your entire weekend on the couch, there's MotoGP, there's Formula One, there's World Superbike, there's Isle of Man, there's hell. A couple of weeks from now, Goodwood Festival of Speed is such an amazing thing to watch. Like it is one of the few things that I'm willing to like actually like stop, turn on, and like straight up sit and watch, just because like what is gonna be the next thing coming up that hill?
I mean, you're listen, I love the Goodwill. It's absolutely
Goodwood,
amazing.
yeah.
Goodwill, you know me, I'm whatever.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
you see the F1 cars, you see the legends like Casey Stoner, and they're swapping bikes, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful event. I watch it too. That and the TT, right? So
Yeah.
everybody, the TTs get ready to happen. If you had not downloaded the TT Plus app, again, I put the post out. What are you doing with your life, right? So yeah, let's go. Freaking awesome. Austin says, bring that little one to pit race. Need some hot laps with the backpack carrier. I love
Nice.
it.
Yeah, so the van's not, so I'm doing a couple of, so Pennsylvania is this magical place that pays for motorcycle training, and part of Pennsylvania paying for motorcycle training is Pennsylvania pays for advanced motorcycle training, and it's up to the training provider to decide how advanced motorcycle training happens. So our training provider, Total Control, so Lee Parks from California, he also does a bunch of training sites here. That's who I work for. He decided, hey, we're going to teach on-track advanced riding class, and it's an absolutely awesome event. It is very, sorry, it's very much street rider friendly because we do have a big classroom component. We do have a lot more control riders and coaches than you would at a regular track day, and we do have a speed limit on the straights, primarily just to make it more street oriented, and also to decrease closing speed, so you don't have somebody putting along on like a 250 Virago and somebody closing up on him on a S1000RR at like
Warp
4 times the
speed. Yeah.
speed difference. So we do ask the fast guys to like just roll it in the straights. But yeah, so absolutely amazing days. I have a great time. Sometimes I teach at them. Sometimes I just show up to ride. And Austin is one of our advanced class instructors. He's so about teaching. I actually had him as a student a couple of times, which was really cool. At some point, I've worked myself out of the job because a whole bunch of guys that were students are now fast enough, and like they are trained. They are more trained on the instructor thing than I am. So they technically outrank me. I outpace them though. And Austin, if you wanna take me up on that, we can figure out how to do a lap time challenge. We're
I
not
love
doing
it.
wheel to wheel.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Luke Lundy, what is up, my man? He says, what's up, Sergi? What about me, Luke? No, I'm just joking. That's
So
awesome.
Luke is a great guy. He is the biggest helper for the Bike Experience USA. They're the guys that take injured, paralyzed, whatever riders, put them back on bikes, teach them how to ride again. And Mike Petrosini is like the guy behind the entire company. Luke is everywhere at every event. He's doing everything. He's filling in every gap that they have. Like he's teaching, he's working on bikes, he's pushing stuff. Like he is the number one volunteer for the Bike Experience.
I love it. You guys stay
And
tuned.
he just bought a race SV, so to get himself into track days more. So he's also, I'm psyched to have him as a customer
I
or
love it.
sponsored rider. I don't know, whatever. However you think of that.
I love it, man. I met Mike at Daytona. He come up. He's like Simcoe. We had some phone chat, so he's coming on the podcast. You guys stay
Oh
tuned
yeah,
for that.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
he's
a huge
awesome.
fan of Cora. The whole. Yeah, I think it's amazing what they're doing, getting everybody in the sport too as well. He was super chatty Cathy when I met him. Super, we were both like, I love to talk anyway. So yeah, he's cool. And then I met standing there with him, I think Eric Cinnamon come up. Was my first time meeting him too as well. So
I'm
yeah.
not sure who that is.
He he uh he races too with them. Or he's missing a leg, I think, from the knee down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Um
just so I haven't met everybody, and like they've got this thing going with the other organization, the Ride Again Foundation. So like some of those guys I literally have never met because like they're from a different group, and yeah.
that dude, it's amazing, right? Just seeing uh no matter what disability, and I hate that word. Whatever
Challenge.
challenge, yes, whatever challenge, that is set forth before you, you could still get on the bike and ride, and you have organizations that such
Dude.
as them to.
So my first time meeting a bunch of the guys, I went with Mike and Robbie down to Roebling for like a March test, and these guys are more racers than any of us. Because you have those days where you're like not quite feeling it. You're like, man, I don't know if I want to go out for this session. Or, it's raining. I don't feel like throwing the wets on. Maybe it'll dry up later. All that. These guys are like, I don't care. Throw me on the bike, duct tape me to the thing. I want to be out there. I don't want to be in here waiting.
That's right. That's right. Throw some zip ties around me. Let's go, people. Let's go. Yeah.
They have some really cool setups. They're set up a lot better than that. Actually, so the bike experience has some videos online. I actually, on my YouTube channel, I have a couple of videos of how we load them up and like how the bikes are set up and stuff like that. Dude, absolute mega bunch of guys. There's nobody with more heart. And I don't know. I think out of everybody, you should probably talk to Mark Lepanzi at some point. He's awesome. He's got really cool story, and he's getting really quick too.
Yeah, dude. I'm listen, my podcast is open to every track day junkie, club racer, whatever. I'm game. We'll make that happen. So, Mark, if you're listening, hit me up or I'll be sending you a message. We got Paul Pendergrass. What is up, Paul, man? He says, "What's up, fellas?" Dude, Paul is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, every time I see his name, I'm like, Paul Pendergrass.
I love it, dude. That's his new nickname.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Pendergrass.
Tell me I'm wrong. It's right there.
No, dude. It's now that you said that, I absolutely see it. So, Paul, that's your new nickname. You need to put that on the bike and the leathers and all that, Paul.
And then get on the podcast.
And then, well, he's been on. I need to get him back on to schedule our part 2. I had him on. It's been I've done almost 400 episodes. I want to say he's probably around 150, 200.
So he's an OG here.
He's an OG, yeah, absolutely. And he's super fast, super cool. I haven't had the honor to meet him in real life yet, but I will. Matter of fact, if everybody listening now, I will be at Cycle Jam at Road Atlanta, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So yeah, let's go. And then dude, he says drinking game every time. Sergey says SV, take a shot. Bro, we'd be drunk after about 10. We'd already be drunk right now.
Hey, I still got to go pack orders. I have like 5 or 6 orders I got to pack up tonight after we get done and after my kid goes to bed.
Right. And then we got Tim Price. Yo, what is up, Tim? Bro, y'all are cracking me up. He says, Kellum kisses pickles on the end before he eats them.
Yeah, I wonder if Dave White is here. He's like the pickle master. The guy absolutely hates pickles.
I love pickles.
And that's the thing. That's like every time I'm assaulting him with that like Dane Cook and the pickles.
Oh my God. Paul says, my boy Sergey always with the good parts and the prices. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Not sure which Paul.
Paul Pendergrass. Paul Pendergrass.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Daniel, dude, bro, what is up? He says, we're not trying to die of alcohol poisoning today.
Yeah.
So how many shots have you had, Khalil?
Khalil?
Yeah, Khalil. Dude, I'm bad with names sometimes.
Yeah, no, Khalil's a cool dude. It took me forever to meet him. He actually, he was down the road from me. Like, he lived nearby, reasonably enough. Like, so he stopped by the shop, like, a month before he moves down to, like, Carolinas or somewhere. So it was like, dude, it's cool to meet you. And you're gone.
Michael Stein, he says, everyone likes banana, right? Everybody does like bananas.
Michael Stein or Mitch Stein?
Mitch Stein.
Oh, dude, one of the best people you'll ever meet at the track.
Ever. Such an amazing guy. Super
fast racer, great coach, overall great guy. His son Bryson is awesome too. Yes. Like fast and really cool. They actually had me out. We went out. What was that track? Oh my God. Okay. I'm so bad with track names. But anyway, so he was like, hey, fly in. We got you. Like, we'll get you a hookup on the track day, ride my bikes. So I stayed out with them a weekend and like we did a track day. What is that track? It's the one where there's no racing because they're not allowed for whatever reason, because they're not allowed to camp out in Indiana.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I
but
can't remember.
but anyway, absolutely awesome couple of days. I was on like every bike known to man, and I actually looked like a complete muppet at that track day because so one track I've never been to. Okay, you can work around that, get a couple of sessions and follow somebody, you figure it out. Two, bikes that almost every one of those bikes was GP shift, and I ride standard shift because XRs you can't flip them, and I spent so much time on like XRs and everything, and I spent so much time on street bikes and customer bikes, and like you don't want to money shift a customer bike, so I was like GP shift, so my brain's already like which way does the gear go, and then I keep changing bikes because whatever was available and not broken, it was what I was taking out. So one of the coaches, Abraham, Abraham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes up to me. He's like, "Man, like, what are you doing? You're all over the place." I'm like, I, I I'm working on it. I'll get back to you in a couple of sessions." And then a couple of sessions later, I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Just bump me down to like inners." The other thing with him was we had the weirdest conversation ever. He's like, "Who do you do track days with?" I'm like, "I don't." "Why are you in advance?" "Because I'm an expert racer." I'm on the wrong track on the wrong bike. I have no idea what I'm doing. I suck, but technically I am a white plate.
I love it, dude.
Like he's like, "Who do you race with?" I'm like, CCS, Astra, whatever. I'm not a good racer. I'm mid pack at best, unless I'm dead ass last with two DNFs. I've had weekends like that.
Me too, right? Yeah, me too. Let's just be honest. But it's fun, right? At the end of the day, that's why we do it, because we love it and we have so much fun. So Michael he says Sergey is the king of SV. I hear that all the time. Absolutely.
They've crowned me. I did not try to claim that.
I know, I know, but you are good at it, right? And everybody knows you for that. So yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
well, so yes and no. One, I stand on the shoulders of giants. Like there's tons of guys that have taught me, and there's like if you're building a bike, there are literally anybody is better than I am. I'm perfectly qualified to put parts together, but like I'm not a race bike builder. I'm a parts guy. I like being a parts guy, but that is mostly my lane. If you need your street bike fixed, or if it's something that's repair service stuff like that, I have a tech who works for me who's brilliant. But race bikes has really never been our thing, just because too much specialized knowledge, and like I have 4 brilliant shops within a couple of hours drive from me. Like I can go to Mike Skornick, Triple Strong Racing. He builds a whole bunch of Moto America bikes. I can go to Speedworks in Delaware. There, Steve is awesome. They've built a bunch of championship winning endurance bikes, SVs and not SVs, whatever. There are literally everybody in the world is more qualified to put together a race bike.
They're definitely different than street bikes for sure. I remember when I first got into it, they're like, "Dude, you got a safety wire." I was like, "What the fuck is safety wire? What are you talking about? Like, what is this?" Right? So,
yeah. And then we have all these compromises, like, yeah, that catch can, yeah, that's
right. What do you mean my Red Bull can won't work?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
The coolant overflow tank is 5-hour energy, and when it starts overflowing, it's spraying you in the face, so
Yes, we've all been there. I know I've been there. Yeah, for sure. It happened to come up, man. I'm glad it didn't go in my eye, but somehow it went up underneath my helmet, hit me on my cheek, and I was like, "What the?" Yeah, man.
Yeah, but then like, hey, the bike's boiling over. I gotta ease out of it.
Right, and then it smells. It smells funny and blah 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 blah.
So best warning system. You don't have time to look down at the gauges. Who has time to look down at the gauges?
What are gauges anyway? What are you talking about, right?
Yeah, like maybe down the straight, like if you're taking a breather and you're all tucked in, and like really that's the only thing you can even see.
This is true. Callie says, anyone know the best mini league in the Carolinas?
Somebody's got to have to answer that one. I don't know.
Somebody, yeah.
VIR had a thing, I thought.
VR did at the kart track, but I forget what it's called. And honestly, I don't even know if they're
still doing CMP it. Has a thing.
Yeah, CMP. That's it. Yes. Look up CMP.
Carolina
Carolina
Motorsports.
Motorsports Park.
Yeah,
Yep.
because they have like I think they're doing their own thing, and they do a lot of them. Because I was seeing them like every time I was there, I was seeing minis out there.
Yeah, CMP. Man, I always forget about CMP, and it's not too far from me either. I don't know why. I just so single focused on VR because it's like my favorite track and it's close to home. So
Yeah, I've never been to VIR because it's far, and for a while they were barely doing bike days.
yeah, I know, but I'm glad that Moto America's back in it. And yeah, dude, if you ever make your way down here, dude, I'm an hour from there, so you can just crash with
Sweet.
me and we'll go down there and hang out for the weekend for sure.
Sounds better than camping in the van as I
Dude, I
usually
got
do.
you, bro. Sergi, come down, bring your kid, bring your wife, man. Yeah, dude, y'all can crash here and we'll just go have fun. We'll leave the kids and the wife here with my wife and my kid. Rossi will go with us and we'll just roll out.
Nice. Yeah,
Oh,
that would be a great time, and I hope to take you up on it. I don't think that's gonna happen this year, but maybe one of these
listen,
years.
me, Casa, you, Casa, you're always invited. Just hit me up, say, hey, I plan on doing this event at VRR on this day. I'd be like, yeah, dude, come on down. Free place to stay. I give you the address. Come on in. We'll throw stuff on a grill, cook out, have a good time, man, for sure. 100%. Tim, and you're right. And we talked about this earlier. I've seen that happen. Kid forced to race and hated it, and the kid had a ton of talent, that happens far too often than people realize too.
Yeah, put it out to them. If they like it, they'll lean into it themselves. And then when they see other kids doing it, they're gonna be like, "I want to be like him." And
Facts.
that was the reason. So Ryan Fleming, the guy that started New Jersey Mini GP, which is like the state mini GP, that was kind of like their thing that they spread out. So he used to say that like you have to build a movement because you don't want to be big fish small pond. You don't want to be beating everybody because then you'll never progress. This way, the way these programs run, you have like 10 kids that are like a hair apart. And as soon as one finds a 10th, the rest of them are like scrambling to like, I'm going to do what he does because I got to get there. So rising tide raises all boats, racing improves the breed, all those phrases. But like, if you look at the entire Moto America grid, all the kids, they're all from one of these programs, whether it's Jersey, it's Florida, it's whatever, California. But like, if you don't make $1 racing by the time you're 16, you're really probably never going to.
I mean, I had this conversation and I say that all the time because I talk a lot about motorcycles. Everybody's trying to pick my brain. It's like, there's our sport is so hard to make a living in, very few ever is going to.
Very few people even get paid to ride.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
all your track day coaches, they're just doing it for track time and for the love of the game. Like you might get a hookup on tires maybe someday.
Right.
All your okay, so there are schools. So I'm lucky I've been paid to be on racetracks, but like there's probably a couple of dozen guys that get that. And it's it was not a lot of money. It was a lot of work because you're nonstop. You don't have those off sessions because you're constantly telling somebody how to do something better or trying to do a demo or whatever. Who gets paid to ride on tracks? There's pro guys are going to offer some coaching or whatever, but like that's not full time either.
No, then facts, right? Like, yeah, you're 100% right. Daniel says Goodwood is definitely on the bucket list, right? That in the TT, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So Goodwood might be one of those from like watching their live streams. There's a lot going on, but it's all like there's a lot of hurry up and wait there.
It is. It really is. I mean, TT's 2 weeks of everything, right? So
yeah, I guess that's totally at the same time. Like, okay,
yeah.
we're gonna see these guys for 2 hours, and we're not gonna see anything for like 6.
Right? Yeah. And then we got the legend Seth Starnes again, next level financial, next level suspension. Let's go. He says bunch of fire emojis. Dude, Seth is such an awesome. It was an honor. I finally got to meet him at Florida at the Daytona 200. So I actually woke him up. He was in there. I stuck my head in the trunk. I was like, "Where's Seth at?" She's like, "He's up there trying to sleep." Right, and I gave him one of my shirts, and yeah, he's Seth is absolutely amazing.
Nothing like barging in and being like, "Hey,
yeah, dude, just what? So I just walk in, boom, what is up? Yeah, that's how you got to do it. You got to make your intro, right?
Yeah.
Um, he says, Mitchell says Putnam is Saturday
Oh,
going towards you.
that was the track, Putnam Park. Yeah.
Yep.
So really, really cool track. Really like it's tricky because there's not a lot to look at. Like it's just kind of empty. So like you know, it's really hard to find reference points, and you can't see a lot of it. So really cool track. I'm really glad I got to go out there, and I was not good there.
We got Taylor Live. It's my boy. Miss you, man. What is
Yeah,
up, Taylor?
Taylor is Cora's pit crew.
Listen, I love
He's
Cora.
he's so he's an absolute legend. I got to meet him at the same time I met all the bike experience guys. It was a little bit like kind of serendipitous, you know, unfortunately, but like so like I was driving down. He needed a bunch of parts. He had a bunch of parts. I'm like, I'm gonna be at Roebling. Come on up. And him and his kid came up, and they were like super excited to give the bike experience guys a hand. Super cool crowd. His son now races like Wira Groms, and
Love it.
he's getting really good too. Um, really awesome family. But then like that same year, or maybe next year, I don't know, whatever. But like Cora gets hurt, and Taylor is right there. He knows all about us. Like he drags her out to a bike experience event, like we were doing a Road Atlanta endurance race, and he drags her out like she was still in like rehab, I think, and drags her out, and he's like, "Can we throw her on the bike?"
Sure.
I'm like,
Let's
"All
go.
right, let's do
Yeah,
it."
let's do it.
So yeah, like absolutely one of my favorite people.
Oh, yeah, dude, Cora is absolutely amazing. For those who don't know, she's been on here twice already. Go back and check it out. I'm getting ready to have her back on too here shortly. So she is an amazing human being. I had the honor. I first met Cora 23 at Jersey through who introduced me to Cora? Ryan Snooks. He's the one that introduced me to Cora at Jersey. And yeah, we hit it off, and dude, she's amazing. She's so fast too. Such a humble, such
Well, I mean, so she was like a motocross racer for
a
forever.
long time. Yes, she was. Brian Mullins, he says, "Holla,
Yeah, tuna.
tuna,
Um,
tuna's
yeah,
awesome."
he's got like I must have sent him half an SV1000 this year because he's making SVs great again.
Yeah,
Because he's putting the SV1000 into the points. He's putting a 22-year-old platform in the points in hooligans.
110%. And I actually had the honor at not Daytona, Road Atlanta to meet them. Seen the motorcycle, hung out with the crew. Yeah, they're absolutely a bunch of
Where
amazing,
he's
proper
not
mega
wobbling
human
down the
beings.
track.
When he wasn't doing this, going down the track, and then you guys seen the video of the swing arm, right, moving
Yeah.
left and right, which was part of the reason. Yeah, is freaking awesome weekend, man. 110%. We got Kara Knibble. What is up?
Oh,
She says
she's awesome. She's one of the Built Train ride.
BTR
Yeah. Um,
100%.
I have referred to that series as Women on Scrap Metal because they really could have picked a much better bike for all of them.
I mean, I love the whole program. I'm a huge fan of
Oh,
the
the program's
BTR
great. It's
program.
just like,
Yeah.
why the oil
The
field?
GT 650. Yeah, but it's great racing. The girls are absolutely amazing. I can't wait. So I'll be a VIP guest of BTR at VIR this year, and I can't wait to go out and hang out with all the girls, Scott and everybody. It's gonna be a proper mega time for sure.
Oh yeah.
100%. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Oh, and speaking of BTR, Michaela, Kayla or Michaela, I'm sorry, there's too many K names. She came out of NG Mini and she just absolutely destroyed the last couple of seasons there.
yeah, I mean, Michaela, grew up riding, so she's got a lot of seat time, right?
Oh yeah,
So yeah, she's fast. But what I love about it too, yeah, her game was definitely elevated, right? Let's just be honest. She was, everybody will admit that, but she also elevated everybody else's game that raced with her too as well. Um,
absolutely. You can't be you have to drag everybody up, and if you're in front of somebody, they're going to be stealing speed off you.
Facts, right? 110%. So how did you get involved with the whole experience gang?
What,
Bike
like the bike experience?
experience.
The bike
Yeah,
experience. So they run SVs, and Mike's shop is 5 minutes away.
bro. What
So
state are you in?
Pennsylvania, we're right outside Philly, like Warrington, Horsham.
Oh, so you're about 6 hours from me.
Yeah, a little bit of a hike, but yeah. So anyway, we didn't know each other. We didn't know each other. We didn't know each other, and then Robbie kind of tells me about him. And he's like, "Hey man, yeah, there's this guy. He's running a bunch of SVs as training bikes." I'm like, "Okay." So I kind of like met Mike, kind of came out to a bunch of events. He's always welcome at the shop, obviously, just because they break a lot of stuff. They're like one of the few things where I will say, yes, a stunt cage is a good idea. Because it's all tip overs. They're all
Yeah.
like they have a lot of, as the guys are learning to like just get the bike moving again. They have a lot of like just 0 mile an hour tip overs because you're doing the hokey pokey trying to catch the guy pulling up to you, and you miss. So yeah, so he's always over. I'm his tire machine. I'm his like, hey, how many usable brake levers do you have?
How many
Like,
did you bring?
yeah.
Oh God, I love it. Tony, Pitcock says,
Oh yeah,
oh,
he's a bike experience guy.
yeah,
Hell
he
yeah.
says, I won this weekend. Dude, congratulations, bro.
Yeah, Tony is awesome. He was a motocross guy that came over to road racing, and once again, like very few people with less heart than with more heart than these guys. I'm sorry, flubbing words, but yeah, they're like he was one of the endurance guys. Oh, I had a great story about him. I was following him around pit race one time, just kind of to see if there were pointers or like kind of just be his like warning system or whatever. And he comes into turn 3 or 4 or whatever, and he's like, he drops his leg like he's doing the Rossi dangle. I'm like, yeah, look at him dragging leg. I'm like, wait, no, that's not. You can't do that. So like, kind of catch up to him and like wave him off the track real quick. But yeah, his little foot came out of the like one of the restraints. But I'm like, yeah, he's Rossing, and I'm like, wait, no, wait, but uh, yeah, okay, figured it out.
I love it. I love it. We got Taylor Liv says was hanging out with Cora the past 2 days. She misses all of you. And listen, we missed Cora too, for sure. 110%. Freaking awesome. Brian Mullins Tuna says, thanks for the parts, homie.
Yeah, dude, you're every time an SV 1000 or SV 650 is on TV, somebody's going, yeah, maybe I should get a crappy SV.
Dude, I mean, he had such a proper mega weekend that weekend. Everybody knows the race weekends don't always go the way, or you always end up with some type of issue
Oh
or
yeah,
problem, right? So, but for what he did, I mean, yeah, it was absolutely, dude, for the SV 1000, dude, come on. Dude, he proved the point. You can buy a
you can
$4,000 SV and go Moto America Super Hooligan Racing.
absolutely. And like Chris Parrish was trying to prove that same point in Twins, but he had to change platforms just because the 650 just wasn't doing it against the Aprilias.
No, yeah. And Parrish was there too. I got to hang out with him. So yeah, he's a legend too. Ghetto Customs for all your custom
Yeah,
bodywork,
I have
right?
his body work on my bikes.
Yeah, they're dude, he's an amazing. So here we go, dude. We got Mark in the house. He says, "Yo, what is up, Mark?"
Yeah. Once again, one of my favorite people at any racetrack because I can't find anybody who it would be hard to find anybody who's more into it than Mark is.
Yeah, Mark's absolutely. We're actually friends on Facebook. I think we spoke through Messenger once or twice. I need to. I'm bad at sometimes at checking my Messenger. Like, I just got to be honest. I get so many messages. A lot of the times, it's like I'm like, dude, I got 150 messages or whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to sit down and go through. So every once in a while, I'll be like, okay, let me answer this. Let me answer this. So yeah, if you did message me, I'll definitely get back with you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
So he's got a great story. Um his story is not mine to tell, but his comeback story is great. Like I'm super happy for him.
Well, I would love to sit down with you, Mark. Man, hit me up. We'll make it happen. Mitchell, dude, he's so funny. He said, "Oh, I took it off." He says, "Surge is quick, but he has a bit of an issue with my Bryson." LOL.
Um, other than I want to catch up, and also the one time I yard sailed the endurance team bike, we were at Roebling again. It's always Roebling for some reason, but we were at Roebling and Bryson pops out right in front of me, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him. And this is endurance racing. There's no such thing. He's on his own strategy. He's a teammate anyway. But like, you see the guy, you want to race your friends. You don't want to race some guy you've never talked to. You want to race your friends because those are the ones where you get to say like, yeah, I passed you. You don't get to rub it into some like random guy, right?
Right.
So you're not gonna walk up to somebody's pit and like scare the hell out of them because when you walk up to somebody you don't know, they automatically start thinking like, man, did I cut him off or something? Um, but yeah, so I see Bryson like a couple of seconds up the road, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him.
Getting them.
And I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna get him, and like I'm like chipping away. I'm kind of like sneaking up on him. He's a much faster rider overall, but I've been to Roebling more than he had at that point. He had never been to Roebling at that point, I think. And I'm like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. And there's like a little bit of like a well in one point at Roebling, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Oh and yeah, I did not get him.
Next time I'll get them.
And also that was one of the more painful crashes because I almost like the front went, I saved it, but then I ran out of road and then I had to bail. And like Roebling's, there's not a lot of runoff in some areas, so I was like, oh crap, we're going towards the wall. Like threw the bike away, cartwheeled myself, cartwheeled the bike. It was not a good time. But you know what? Steve is brilliant. He got the bike back out and finished the race, like down like infinity laps because I wasted all their time waiting for their crash truck. But he got it out. Somebody finished out the race.
Oh my God, I'm in the same boat. My ambition outweighs my talent most of the time anyway, right? So it's yeah, far too familiar with that one. Brian says, dude, we got to. Actually, I was talking to Parrish about this at Atlanta. He says we're going to get Parrish on the SV and MA. We may not have hymns 100 hymns. Isn't that a pill? 100% convinced yet though. LOL. It's hilarious.
Dude, he would take to it like a fish to water.
Bro,
He's got a decade on probably more on
more.
SVs.
Yes.
He'll get on that bike and be like, "This feels like my bike."
Out, right? And they're like, "Holy shit, where did he come from?" It's
I mean,
Paris, right?
you can put that dude on a pedal tricycle. He'll be fast.
Put him on a unicycle and watch him shine for sure. Jason Doss, what is up, my man? It was good to see you at Atlanta, Jason. Wish I had more time to chat it up with you. Will you be at Cycle Jam next weekend? He says, just got my numbers for Moto America today. 112 going twin racing at VIR. Come ride VIR. Bro, I'll be there at VIR. So I will
Hell yeah.
definitely see you, bro. My man, dude, everybody hears me talk about it all the time. I got my buddy Chef Eats, Jeff Servin up in the house. Heard I get to see a banana. Absolutely, you do. On here and after, buddy. Stay tuned.
We're on Facebook. We're not on OnlyFans. I mean, if you like and subscribe, I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I love it, dude, Jeff's a great guy too.
He's amazing. His food is absolutely amazing too. So
Dude,
I talk about Chef Eats all the time.
So I tried ordering from him. I'm too far for him to ship in any meaningful way. It would just like it would end up spoiling 50% of the time, and like we just I would love to, but like by the time we ship it, like it's just too far away, Pennsylvania to wherever he is.
He's in Georgia.
Yeah, so like
yeah, he lives in Georgia.
So like the way UPS and USPS or whatever, like they deliver definitely, but like a day delay with food is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with Jeff sending me anything. Every time I get stuff, it's absolutely fresh, frozen bags with the yeah, dude. It's absolutely amazing food. I get it, and I take it to work all the time. That's what I do. Like I'll hide them downstairs in our refrigerator downstairs. And
And his cheesecakes, or they're not his cheesecakes, but they're like him adjacent. I think he's like partnered with somebody.
dude, all his food. I have not had one, and I can honestly say this. And if I did, I would be, I like to tell the truth, right? So every time, every meal I've ever had from Chef Eats has been absolutely proper mega on point dynamite 100% of the time. I have not had anything that I was just like, yeah, this is not for me. So,
Well,
uh,
I'm sure he does a great fish, but if he sent me fish, I'd be like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm not really much of a fish guy.
you don't like fish? What?
It's the smell when it's hot. Like I'll eat sushi, I can't do hot fish.
I, man, I love fish. I eat sushi. I eat fish. I eat, dude. One of my favorites is Chilean sea bass is really good. God, I love it so much. And mahi mahi, man, I stay eating mahi mahi. It's so good. Jeff says, next time you hit a round close by, let me know. I'll get you a box. There you go,
I'm
Sergi.
in.
100%. Jason says, I waiting on Graves to get lightweight wheels in. Might not make cycle jam. Sucks. Like to try win another cycle jam. Yeah, man, Jason, just let me know. I'll definitely be at VIR though. Sucks I'm gonna miss you next weekend. Have you met Jason Doss?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's
So
awesome.
I have this thing where like because there's so many of us, and like some people use different names, different places, like myself. It's kind of like maybe, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, that's all right. You come down to VIR. You guys stay with me this year for the MA race if you guys can make it. And yeah, I'll introduce you to him for sure.
Be
So,
awesome.
listen, dude, tell me how you became a shop.
Well, so like everything I do, I kind of have to go full in, but also I became I became a part out thing completely accidentally. So I bought this was I don't know like 2010 or something. I bought an SV650 that I thought was going to be my track bike, and this thing was rough. And yeah, today it would be done and back up and running and ready to race in like 3 days. But at the time, I like didn't know which way. Well, I knew how to turn a wrench, but I didn't know much about bikes or like repairs. And especially, I bought a carby, and I know nothing about carbs. I still know nothing about carbs. So I was like, okay, I got to get out of it somehow. Like, how do I spend all this money on it? But like, nobody's gonna give me money for like a non-running SV. Like, what do I do? Oh, I could take things apart. And I'm on all the forums, obviously, at that point. This was still the forum era, more so than Facebook. And I'm like, hey, here's the bike, here are the parts on it, whatever. Came out a little bit ahead from what I put into it. I bought it really poorly, once again, because I didn't know shit from fuck. Um, and so I'm like, okay, that's cool. That was cool. I'm glad I didn't lose money. Learned a little bit. Got a couple of bucks back. Excellent. Next year, hey, you know what? I should buy a crappy SV650 for a track bike so that it matches my street bike because I'm stupid and I didn't learn my lesson the first time. I'm going to keep stepping on this rake. What do? I buy a crappy SV, don't know how to fix it. I'm like, all right, I'm taking it apart. Third one, I'm like, yeah, we're intentionally buying this to take it apart. So did that for quite a few years, and then at some point I outgrew myself. I had to get a commercial space because I was taking apart bikes in like a townhouse garage. Like, what the hell am I doing? So I grew up to the point where I had to do a commercial space, like get something that's like legit and where I'm allowed to be and allowed to make noise at 3 in the morning because it was for a while it was that kind of life. Um, and so like registered the Mad AV Cycles name, you registered the site. This was, I don't know, 10 years ago, like something like that. Maybe not 10. I don't know. I have time issues because life is hectic, and there's enough going on in the now that I don't need to remember if it was 2016 or 2017. And yeah, just the SV is a really great platform to do part outs with, because you have all the race bikes and the track day bikes for all the slightly cheaper aftermarket parts, and then you have all the street guys that want the shinies for their street bikes, and they're a beginner bike, so you have a lot of wrecks. And they're a cheap bike, so you have a lot of them abandoned. And then there's this weird, like, kind of three-card Monty thing where, like, I buy a bike that's been sitting, there's some good parts on it, they're used to fix a race bike, the race bike gets wrecked, I buy that, I take the shinies off the race bike, I sell them to the guy trying to fix up his street bike. It's you know what I am? I am like the old-timey phone operator, where, like, like if you've ever watched
The
like
switchboards.
1930s phones, switchboards, yeah, like pulling out one jack and putting in another hole. And if it pays the shop rent, stuff like that, that's awesome, and I'm really happy to do that. And, like, I'm really glad that it helps people, because, like, I get to meet cool people like yourself, for example, or like Mullins, or like really everybody with an SV in the country has at some point, either them or their bike has probably at some point interacted with me, and that's awesome. I'm so happy to
I
to
love
have
it,
that.
man.
It's a really cool experience.
Do you obviously do you have a shop on eBay you sell stuff on too?
So the
Or is it
eBay thing is primarily for like stuff that I don't have a good market for. The SV stuff all goes on mad8v.com, my website. Like, I just set up a Shopify site. And primarily that exists because you can absolutely do this out of Marketplace, or like out of a notepad or whatever. I've met plenty of part out guys who do it that way. But at some point I got tired of answering, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And I'm like, I need a system. And if I'm going to have a system, I might as well have a website. So, my wife is pretty good, like, graphic person. So she did some logos and stuff. Like, the logo came from her, um, and it was kind of rolling with that. And, like, now anytime there's somebody on any of the Facebook groups, forums, Reddit, whatever, anybody asks, like, hey, where can I get this? Somebody's going to be in the comments like, did you check Mad8v? And that's really the best feedback I can have from people, that, like, hey, I don't have to advertise. You guys are doing it for me. And I appreciate the hell out of everybody for doing it.
100%? Man, that's how that's how I bought my first Ducati, Surge, is parting out bikes. I'm like, dude, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
buy this bike, part them out, and made the money and bought my first Ducati. So I sell stuff on eBay, but sometimes, man, eBay's just it's
eBay.
awful. It's
You're
it's a headache. It's like they mark against you if you want to cancel an order. Like, I had this one, I had a set of 748 forks, right? I still got them because a dude bought them, and I looked at his address. I was like, bitch, Norway. I was like, this is gonna cost like 50 billion freaking dollars,
yeah,
right?
international shipping is awful for us.
But I'm in the international shipping program, right? So I was like, hey, it can't really be that bad. I went down there to the UPS store, and they're like, yeah, it'll be $208. I was like, I only sold them for 350. I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Cancel order. I canceled it. eBay
Yeah.
relisted it, whatever, 2 days later or the next day, whatever it is. Dude, this son of a bitch went and bought them again. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me,
Oh
man.
yeah. You got to set your stuff up to disable international. But you know what? You know what I found? So I will take an L on a part. I just sent somebody like $60 worth of stuff, and I think I paid $50 of shipping on it. I will take an L on a part over, one, stranding somebody, and two, taking a reputation hit, because, like, like, we're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to screw up, as long as we own it, and we're not malicious about it. Like, it's not the customer's
100%.
fault that I didn't look at this part and there's a little hairline crack that I didn't notice and I shipped it out to you. Dude, that's not your problem. That should never be your problem. It is, however, a little bit of a gut punch, where I'm like, well, I was counting on that money for, like, the bills,
Or something, yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, so
I
You
felt
know,
bad, and I still do, but yeah, I need to. That's the first time I really have ever done it. Usually, I'm like you, I take loss on shit. I'm like, fuck, dude, I
yeah,
shouldn't have
but
done
like,
that,
you
right?
know, like by the time you pay the eBay fee on that, like you're paying almost 20% in fees if they're
Bro,
processing payment and all that stuff. You pay out the ass to get it sold. You pay out the ass to ship it. Like, why did I do this? I just got sweaty and like that's it. So that's one of the reasons I try to stay away from eBay unless it's like, if I have an R6 part, I can't put that on Mat 8V. Nobody's going to come look for it there. So
yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I've slowed down listing a lot of stuff on eBay. I just found throughout the years of me doing, I've been doing it since 2012. So I had 100% rating, like, blah, blah, blah. And it was just little stuff here and there, right? Little oddball shit. I'm like, I'm gonna throw this away. And I'd be like, you know what? Let me list this son of a bitch on eBay and what happens. And it sells. I was like, that shouldn't have sold, right? And it just
yeah.
kind of snowballed from there. And then you get into where they kind of screw you over. Somebody say, "Oh, this is bad," or "This broken," blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, that had to happen to ship," and I got photos, and eBay always sides with the customer, right? And then
Oh yeah,
it's
dude.
like,
Well,
bro,
so like, it's very rare to get a bad customer, but when you're like, you shipped me back, you said the CDI I shipped you wasn't working. You shipped me one that was not the one I sent you. Like, dude, I mean, yeah, I get it. I'm a business. It's part of being a business, all that. But like, it kind of ruins your day. It's not even a money thing. It's just like,
it's
man,
not
this guy was a dick to me, and like for no reason, because like, eh. And absolutely, like, if I send somebody something, I own that. But like, if you're doing a return and I get back like, there's little things like, hey, there was a little like scratch there or whatever, and you're like, that scratch not there in the picture, or that scratch that was in the picture is not there. Nobody sanded this thing, right?
right.
Um, you kind of like you end up in like that Brian Van, you can't make this shit up
You can't
territory
make
where
this
somebody
shit up.
sends him a Wish.com exhaust back
Facts.
or whatever.
Yeah, right. This is not an Akrapovic. This is a Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Uh, Mitchell, what he says, God bless you too. Got to go to work on fast SV650s. Ooh, I did balloons. I meant to do hearts. I don't even know how I did balloons, but there you go, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to
Yeah.
see you soon, my friend. And then we
Yeah.
got Liv real quick. She said, Taylor says, I should be at Cycle Jam with my daughter Kat and my son Kyle. We'll be hanging out and lending a hand to friends since we won't be racing. Well, I'll be there. My son will be there. Trust us. You cannot miss us. So if you see me, come up and say hi. We'll chat it
Bright
up for
bright
sure.
pink shirt.
Bright, yeah, you can't trust me. You won't. It'll be the blue or the pink, probably the pink. My son's got the same shirt, so you'll be. And I have my stickers there too, so he'll be out running around hitting everybody's stickers. That's his job at the track. Every time I go, I'm like, look, here's 400 stickers, right? Go out and give one to everybody. Literally 10 minutes later, he's like, Dad, I ain't got no more stickers. I was like, there's no way you just gave out 250 stickers. He was like, yeah, I just gave handfuls. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I was like, bro, but
Well, yeah, handfuls is rough because like, yeah, I'll take 50.
right. They're like, yeah, give me one. Oh, okay, I'll take 10, right? It's cool. It's fine. It is what
Yeah.
it is. So
Any sticker that's out there is a touch point with a customer.
110%. Jason says, back in the day, it was killer. Now eBay sucks. I used to start the bid for 99 cents. People would bid crazy. Now eBay takes too many charges out. Yeah, eBay's just gotten
Oh, dude,
ridiculous.
so right now, if you're not doing buy it now, you're
It's not going to sell.
setting yourself up for disaster. Like, yeah, you can have an auction, but like you're gonna get like one bid at starting price and sell it at that.
Yeah, and
If
if right. So yeah, and everybody free shipping. It don't matter what it is. So I just added my shipping cost into the price of the parts, right? Um, but again, sometimes as you do it and you start to learn the geography and what it costs to ship from here to Utah, which is fucking ridiculous, or
oh yeah,
California or Texas. This stays on the East Coast, close to where me and Sergi is. Yeah, it's good. It's not a problem. Any further than that, yeah, it's
dude,
because of the shipping costs and all that. It's just
I sent
garbage.
a full bike set of Fisher MRX bodywork to a guy in Australia. So remember the Fisher MRX? There was like the next American superbike that
Yeah, it
was
was yellow. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that ended up not
Doing
not
anything.
yeah, well, he got screwed. There's a long story about that I could talk about. Because I bought his leftovers. I bought his entire warehouse.
That's right. You told me about that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about that, man, because you did tell
Okay.
me about that.
All right. So one day, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I don't know, 2015, 2016, something like that. So this guy pops on the SV group, and he's like trying to sell 150 Brembo calipers and like 50 Öhlins shocks and like some other nonsense. And like everybody in the group is like, this is bullshit. Right. So what it was when Dan went out of business, he had his kid list his stuff. Well, the kid didn't really know much of anything, so he just went on the group and like, hey, I've got 50 Olin shocks, and everybody's like, scam, 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 and they banned him. Well, I managed to get his information before they banned him, and I'm like, all right, well, let me play this game. What you got? He's like, oh man, so we got this warehouse. I'm like, okay, well, where are you at? Like Eastern Maryland, like southeast Maryland, like in the Dong area or whatever.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm 3 hours away. I'm gonna drive down and take a look. So what this ended up was this was like easily like a 20 by 40 kind of like it's bigger than my current shop. This was just a storage unit where he had all the leftovers of like 30 plus motorcycles. Because when he stopped operations, they just stopped. So they had all the stuff to make like 30 more bikes, or maybe some things there was 50 of, some things there was 100 of, some things there was 2 of, as things happen. Um, so like when they closed up, he kind of stopped operations and like just chucked it all in a storage unit and paid like, 6 or 7 years of rent on a storage unit. Or whatever it was, I don't remember. I don't know his time frame. So he was paying for a storage unit for years to just warehouse the stuff that nobody needed. And I'm like, okay, well, I want the Öhlins shocks. The Öhlins cross over to SVs between the Fisher and the MRX because they were just off the shelf shock that he reused. The carbs were the same K-hins as on SVs, just with a little different settings because it was a Hyosung. It was a Hyosung kit.
Yeah.
Like there was a bunch of other stuff that crossed over. There was indeed 100 Brembo calipers. That didn't fit anything, but I found a way. Well, because they were like for Hyos, so they were like a weird spacing that didn't fit anything. Um, there were like Koso gauge clusters. There was all sorts of cool stuff in there. Um, and I'm like, okay, I want it, but I don't think I can afford all of it because I kind of want to cherry pick. Like I want the shocks. I don't want the Hyo stuff, stuff like that. He's like, arbitrary low number, like hilariously low number. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, for all of it. I'm like,
Did I just
oh,
hear that right? Say that
uh,
one more time.
yeah, no, like this was like 2 motorcycles and not good motorcycles. This was like 2 motorcycles of money. Figure it out. If you know SV pricing, you know what 2 motorcycles cost. So
$200. No, I'm just joking.
nah, like
I know what you're
good
saying.
ones, like
Yeah,
like actually
yeah.
motorcycles, not parts.
I'm
But
just playing.
anyway, so I'm like, okay. He's like, there's a catch though. I want this unit spotless and empty. I'm like,
Done.
bet. All right, grabbed a
Done.
couple of buddies, rented. There weren't U-Hauls because U-Haul charges by money, but like rented an enterprise truck, drove down there, like loaded up. I must have taken like 3 or 4 trips, but I got the entire thing out of there. And honestly, that was the best deal I've ever done because once again, like, okay, I had to pay somebody to service all the Öhlins shocks, but like even at like 300-400 bucks a pop, there was 30 of them. Just that paid itself off. Like
100%.
and like Koso gauge clusters. Koso is not cheap. Koso is the high end shit. Carbs for SVs, CDIs work in SVs, like a whole bunch of stuff. And like it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I've made a ton of money. I'm just gonna push the rest of it off. Um, Pushed it off to my buddy Jack Stan Johnny. Uh, Obviously pseudonym, but pushed it off to him, and then he made a bunch of money on eBay selling all the Hyo stuff.
Love it,
So
man.
that was doing that. But the reason that like he failed, I think he just kept getting screwed. It wasn't a bad bike. His original prototype was gonna be like an EBR because it had like $15,000 forks, like 1125 engine or like whatever, like the same Rotax that's in the Aprilias and the 1125s and whatever. And then Rotax went, or Aprilia went, wait, but we want that engine. You shouldn't sell that to anybody. We need that in the RSV. You should not sell that to some random guy. And Rotax went, yoink, yank the rug out from under him. So he had to like scramble and find something else to build his bike out of. And like the only ones that would sell him a kit were Hyosung. So it was a custom framed Hyosung GT 650 with like some extra stuff, some mid grade stuff. There wasn't like high end Olins, it wasn't high end Brembo. And he was doing all this in 2008 when nobody was buying, well, except my dumbass. I was, of course, buying a brand new SV650 in 2008 because I'm stupid. I didn't get the memo. Then I bought it. But nobody was buying a $15,000 or whatever the thing cost Chinese or a Korean bike or a Korean American, whatever. So like he could have made it work if it wasn't like the daisy chain of failures where like the engine didn't work out, nobody cared about carb Hyosung in 2008 already. The economy was shot. So like Dan's a great guy. Like I spent a bunch of time talking to him. He would have absolutely made it work. I think it was like the combination of everything that blew him
Yeah.
up.
I remember seeing that bike. I hadn't seen one in real life, but in the magazine, I think it was Sports Rider. When I first seen it, the Fisher, and I thought it was a cool looking bike because it was different, right? That's
It,
what
it
you
looked
want,
like
something to stand
it
out.
looked like a CBR Triumph Sprint kind of
It
like
kind of mixed together, right? If they had a
it had a
baby,
really cool undertail. The tail was really
did.
cool on it. Um, Great looking bike, but like once again, he just wrong time, wrong place, wrong money, wrong everything, and he just kept getting screwed. So you can only go so far if everybody who's supposed to help you is blowing you
Screwing
up.
you over, right? Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to ride one, a Fisher?
No, so the one and only one he had the prototype in there, but with the Rotax, with the nice forks. I didn't have the scratch for it. He tried to sell it to me again a couple of years later. Once again, I didn't have the scratch for it. And it wasn't running because it had been sat for like 8 years and whatever. I've never actually seen a production MRX in real life. I've seen all the parts a million times for them. I still have some, but I still have some listed on the site. I still have a bunch of blueprints from Fisher,
That's
like his
awesome.
his factory ones, because they were
Yeah.
just in a box in a corner. I'm like, dibs. Well, I got to clean out
Yeah,
this
I'm
place
getting that.
anyway.
Yeah, it's all going with me. Let's go, right? And it's funny you said Hyosung. I've only seen two of those in real life, right? If that makes sense. I've the bike that I haven't seen very much of running around anywhere at all.
Yeah, so they're out there. I think there was like some like Ohio area, like Indiana. There was a dealer that sold a whole bunch of them. But like they didn't market well. They couldn't really explain the like any reason to buy it over the SV650. It was a little heavier, it was a little slower, it was a little less spike. And unless you were like next to that one Hyosung dealer, you probably never even heard of them. And the funny thing with Hyo, they actually made a whole bunch of SV parts. They made a whole bunch of SV engines. Their bikes were made on the same machines as SV engines. Everything was just a hair off just to make sure that like, they weren't copyright infringing or whatever. So like it was an SV clone. They were okay bikes. There was a couple of like early models had a couple of issues, but like nothing wrong with them. It just once again like, sometimes Japan gets a better rap than or better reputation than
Yeah.
better rep
Yeah.
than Korea or China. But once again, like there are like CF Moto, they'll build a brilliant bike. I don't know how reliable they are, but if you're paying for it, they will build you a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I got a buddy, Carnes Performance in Pennsylvania. It's a CF Moto dealer. I've heard nothing but great things out of CF Moto. Obviously, they use KTM motors and blah 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 blah.
Oh, I've got a KTM motor in the shop that's in pieces for its 3,000-mile blown head gasket and warped head.
RC 390.
No, 690. Oh,
Okay.
it's actually a 701 Husky, but same deal.
Same deal. Yeah, dude. So my buddy, I think the second year the 701 come out, he bought it, and I took that thing for a ride. I was like, holy shit, this thing is badass. It was such a great bike. He sold it. I still want one. Either
Dude,
the Gas Cast KTM 690. They're so awesome.
So about 2 weeks before I found out we were pregnant, I bought a 690 SMCR from my buddy Tony Pags, Scott's Power Sports in PA. This thing was, I was gonna go to jail every time I rode it.
Every time.
I'm like,
Every
okay,
time.
okay, I am now
A hooligan for real.
no. Well, I mean, I've had supermotos before, but like specifically the 690 was like
It's a beast.
it was a lot of bike. It's a brilliant bike. It's telepathic. It's super easy to ride. It just wants to do things. And I'm like, okay, one, I'm an instructor. I need to keep my nose clean. Because it's not okay to get like a reckless and be an instructor. It's not the way to be. Teaching like street licensing stuff. Oh yeah, that's another thing I do. But there's that, and like, okay, I have a kid on the way. I'm gonna have 6 motorcycles in the garage that I don't ride, and I just financed another one. So yeah, so he put it up. Like I asked him nicely. He put it up on consignment. He sold it for me. So because it's hard to sell a new bike,
It really is.
like as a private, like I can list it on marketplace. Nobody's going to come bring me $11,000-$12,000. They're gonna need financing, and how do I do that as a not a dealer?
Yeah. No, I mean it's what a bike though, man. Like I wanted to buy one so bad, but I knew if I owned one, just like right now, like I had the money to buy one, I bought an RC51 instead. But I'm like, dude, I really want this bike, but if I buy it, I know I'm gonna end up in jail, lose my license. My wife's gonna be super pissed off, So
Yeah. Well, so what it is it's so good that riding it in any way except like riding in anything remotely resembling legal is boring.
boring,
So
straight boring. You're like,
like you're almost better off on a slow bike going fast. Like, dude, I love my Grom. I've had a Grom since 2014. It was one of the first like couple of dozen in the country. I actually won it. It was a free Grom in 2014. I won it in a forum giveaway.
nice.
Dude, it was absolutely brilliant. Like my phone was blowing up all day. I'm like, why the hell is everybody calling me? I'm at work, and they're like, yeah, you won the Grom. I'm like, the hell are you talking?
What?
Oh,
Let's go. I want a Grom. I want a Grom. I want to buy one. It was either that. I hadn't bought one yet, but I want to get probably a slightly used one, like a 23 5-speed, yada yada yada. But
check out the 135 TNT.
dude, see, I was gonna ask you about that because everybody says, dude, buy the TNT Benelli instead of the Grom.
2 or 3 more horsepower, $500 cheaper, and there's enough of them out there that there's parts.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do like the way that the new CF Moto Papio SS looks, with the dual headlights and the clip-ons. It's just a cool little 125. But
all the minis are always cool.
They're awesome.
Because once again, like telepathic, like you can wring its neck all day. You're never even going to break the speed limit. Like you can go to a church parking lot and practice, and you have license plates, so you're like, you're dragging knees, but you're legal, and I'm improving myself as a motorcyclist. Look, I'm a motorcycle instructor.
Right.
So like all the benefits of having a plate, and then like rip the lights off, go race minis.
Best bang for the buck. I mean, Absolutely. It really is. I love
Absolutely. Every time Grom, Z, Benelli,
yeah, whatever. They're so much fun. God, they're so much fun. Taylor says 2 things real quick. He says, I'll wear one of Sergei's shop rags when I come find you. Do that. I'm really looking forward to meeting you and your kids.
So for a minute, our joke was I actually had it on the site. I had the t-shirt listed as a Mad 8 Cycles shop rag that happens to be in the shape of a t-shirt. It's really absorbent and like it's really good around the shop. Oh yeah, and I guess you could wear it, but why would you?
I love it, man. Great marketing, by the way.
Yeah, there's like 10 people that remember this. This was years ago. And actually, I no longer
Taylor's
even
one of
sell
them.
the yeah, I no longer even sell the shirts. I just give them away because like it's kind of it's almost weird for me to charge people to advertise for me. But yeah, if you want a shirt, hit me up. Like happy to throw a shirt to
Happy
anybody.
to give you a shop rag for
Yeah.
sure, and you can wear it too
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
use it
yeah,
for a
yeah. I
rag.
mean,
Let's go.
I mean, if you don't have any oil spills, like maybe wear it that day, whatever.
Right, right. If you don't have cat litter, yeah, just wear the shirt. Yeah, you're good, right? I love it. Dude, Ron Snyder's in the house. What is up, bro? He says, I need some Mad V8 stickers.
Mad 8V. That's
Yeah,
another
Mad
thing.
8V.
That's really funny. Like everybody always screws this up. So the 8V is actually 8 valve. There was a one of my first cars was a Volkswagen GTI with 8 valves.
Love it.
So that was the username on VW Vortex because I needed a username and my normal username got banned. And then so I was like Mad 8V skills or whatever. And then like, you build this whole ecosystem around an email, like your emails, all these forums and whatever. And when I was putting up a company, I'm like, it's got to be like me, but not like me. Oh, SVs have 8 valves on Mad 8V skills. Cool. Let's go. Mad
Let's
8V
roll.
cycles.
I love
So eight valves, not a V8 configuration.
it. Taylor also says, would still be curious what an SV would look like with that Fisher bodywork on it.
So that was the one thing I kind of told myself when I bought the Fisher stuff. Like, I will never sell Fisher stuff to somebody who doesn't own a Fisher because there's not going to be any more of it. The like two tail sections I have left, the like, two or three tank halves, whatever. That's it. So, like, yeah, I could probably, Frankenbike something out of it, but like the guys that have these, if one of them is restoring it, like the guy I sent a whole set of bodywork to Australia, like they don't have an option. Like there's like somebody would have to like they'd have to find a fiber shop to like take a mold and like clone them. So yeah, they only ever sold like 35 bikes and like 3 of them were to himself, I think. So there's not a lot of these guys out there, but for the 2 guys that still have one, um, it would be doing them a disservice. So like think RC51, right? Like okay, so RC51 parts are hard enough to come by. What if like some Ninja 400 or something was like buying up all the harnesses because it would do something,
Yeah, I'd
right?
be pissed.
Right,
Like, what are you doing? Give me,
yeah,
yeah.
no, at that point you're taking something that's unobtainium that's extinct
Yep.
and wasting it on like a pet project.
No, I get it, man. I'm with you 110%. Doing them a disservice, which you don't want to do that, right? Because they really want it. They have it. Obviously, it's a unique bike. To unique people that own them and bought them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should be first in line to get them. 110%.
yeah, and like yeah, I guess I'm stuck keeping this shit for the rest of my life and carrying the rent cost on it. But like, and yeah, nobody's ever going to buy 35 Fisher MRX mufflers unless you need one. Hit me up. Um, but like, like it's once again, I just can't get myself to like be like, no, screw these guys.
No, I'm with you, man. 110%. Taylor says, we have a TNT. That's what my son Kyle races with Wera. Awesome. And then
Yeah, there you go.
my friend Jamari, what is up? She says Z125. They're all
Yeah,
the same.
all the mini gang.
Yeah, they're all the same.
So they all feel a little different. Like you hop on a Z after a Grom, you're like, this is
It does. No, you're right. I rode my buddy Z and then jumped off it and tried his buddies. I didn't know him, but tried his Grom and it's completely different. The way it sits, the way it feels. I preferred the Z over the Grom just initially sitting on it, just to be honest with you.
So it's been a minute since I've been on a regular Grom because mine has clip-ons and rear sets and all that nonsense and like actual suspension. But I hopped on the Z. I was like, this thing's quicker.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it felt quicker. Maybe it was the gearing. I don't know. Whatever.
yeah. They're a lot of fun though, man. Point is, too much
Mine's
fun to
also
have.
flat. I've crashed my Grom probably 1,000 times by this point. I think I crash it every time I ride it.
They're just so much fun. They're cheap. Like we said this earlier, they're just cheap, right?
And they're not big enough
Fun.
to hurt you, and they're not big enough to heavy enough to hurt themselves. So like, okay, it's on its side, so am I. Who cares? Get up, keep going.
All right, let's go.
Well, assuming you're wearing leathers and all that stuff. Like I'm not talking
Which you
about
should.
quitting.
Yes, you
Absolutely.
should.
Get some custom suits. Come on, man. You got that plug right there.
Bro, and that brings me to I was waiting on to see if we was get listen. Bisontrack.com, people, it's 2025. Do yourself a favor, take that off the rack suit, make a purse, a backpack, and I say all the time, give it to your wife, your husband, whoever, right? Go to bisontrack.com, get you a full custom suit, tailored measured specifically for you. Trust me, it makes a world of a difference. And actually, they have a special on the Thor 3s right now going on. In their Thor 2 suit, they have $1,000 off. It's like $1,000 for the Thor 2 suit. It's an absolutely proper mega deal. Again, bisontrack.com. You know, the stigmata that I hear sometimes too is, you know, it's not getting measured for the suit. It's the whole customization that kind of people, I don't want to say freak out about. It's just a lot of anxiety, right? Because I kind of was too. I was like, man, dude, there's so many options going in my mind, so much that I want, you know, but they make it so easy. It's so simple. Basically, I just said, hey, I went and got measured. This is my logo. These are my colors. You do you. I give you free range. That's what I ended up with. And I freaking love it. So, yeah,
Well, or
bisontrack.com.
I mean, a custom suit is gonna protect you just as well if it's just a plain color, like bright fucking yellow.
It would. Right. Like the banana.
Yeah, but so definitely custom. Like I've worn rack suits and I've crashed in them. I'd always have like road rash on my elbows, kind of like this. I mean,
Yep.
I know we're on a podcast, but we're also on video.
No, you're good.
Um, but like this was from a textile street issue. But anyway, like I'd always get like rug burn where like you know I'd go down and like the suit's not rubbed through, the suit rubbed me, and like with the custom suit that stops, and especially undersuit too. Like with a good undersuit, you definitely have fewer issues with that.
Which brings me again to the point. If you go do a track day, a club race, whatever weekend event, bring more than one undersuit. Trust me, everybody in the paddock will thank you. We've all been there. I know I
Oh,
have.
dude.
I'm pretty sure Sergi has, right? You show up on the weekend, you got one undersuit, you're walking around about, it's like, what the hell is that?
Dude, getting into a used undersuit the second day, you're
Oh,
like, no,
bro,
I,
it's a
like just no, thank you.
nah, good. I'm just yeah. So, which brings me, of course, Bison. All right, that I love the one piece Bison undersuit that I got because it's got the man zipper. It's just so convenient for us men, right? It's a great suit. I flop between the singles and the dual piece, right? To the top and the bottom. My buddy Tate, 64 Degree Racing. Anybody in the market for a two-piece undersuit, look no further than 64 Degree Racing. I got two custom undersuits from him, and I absolutely love my two-piece 64 Degree Racing suit. I'm actually got with a leaky, which Venom, right? Everybody's seen, heard of Venom undersuits. You can go to venomsport.com too. I got one of those coming too as well. So I like to have variety, right? When it
Yeah, you
comes,
want to have
Michael May,
options.
you got to. Michael May says no swooping.
Oh, so yeah. So Mike almost cut my. He's one of the bike experience guys too. He almost cut my wheel off because I was kind of like just about coming up behind him on like with my foot basically in the lawn, and then he just kind of shuts the door right before the turn. He was like 3/4 track, and then he takes that last quarter, and I'm there. I'm like, bro. Like we didn't combine bikes, we didn't do anything, but like I kind of went up to him. I'm like, bro, just like, can you please not do that? Because somebody's gonna be there going around the outside because you left it there for like 3/4 of the straight. So I'm gonna take it.
Facts. That's 100%. Yeah. So who do you wear as an undersuit? Do you have one? Obviously you
So
do.
I have like I've I've gone through a bunch of random trash, obviously, like we all do. We're all gear whores.
Yeah.
This is a very gear intensive hobby, so you can look behind yourself, you're a gear whore. But so like my go-to right now is the Venom suit. Before that, I had the Alpine Stars one. Before that, I had Cycle Gear. Actually, they're like heat out or whatever, it wasn't bad. It was like dirt cheap and like it worked. It just tore super easily because cycle
It's
gear.
cheap. And I told this to my brother the other day. He's like, dude, why don't you just buy Under Armour or Nike? And I was like, dude, the compressor, it's not the same. Absolutely
It's
not the same.
so if it's doing the right thing, you're probably going to end up with a couple of different ones because you probably want something that's a little warmer and not radiating heat. But like like the best materials are going to like to actually pull the heat out of you so that like you don't overheat, especially when you're going endurance racing, when you're on that bike for an hour, 20 minutes or something for
Dad, you eating
a
that
stint like
spicy
that, you really do need that
Are you
heat
gonna eat the
management.
spicy ramen?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go eat it. You can have it. You gonna say hi to my buddy?
What's up? Look what I made
going
for
on?
Kayla.
That's cool. We have those are illegal everywhere, I think. The plastic ones are fine.
I don't know if Kayla will be at Cycle Jam.
Can you ask her?
Yeah, I'll shoot her a text and ask her.
Is he watching?
Kayla is not watching. She's probably training, knowing Kayla. But so obviously, I had Kayla. She's good friends of ours. When she was on the podcast, Rossi was showing her his butterfly knives he makes out of Legos, right? So she's like, "You got to make me one." And so when I went to Road Atlanta, I went up and gave her a hug. The first thing she says was, "Did you bring my knife that Rossi made me?" I was like, "No, I didn't. I'm sorry." So there it is, right? So yeah, I'll bring it with me. Yep, and it's the cut. He wanted to do it for her in her Ray Hall Ducati colors, right? Which is black and yellow. So
yeah.
I made it small because I didn't have enough yellow pieces.
Yeah, he made her a small one. He usually makes them like, pretty much
realistic.
Like full size. Yeah. Full size. And he wanted
I have medium black and yellow, but I already used the medium yellow.
Okay. But he's a lot like me. If he does something right, he's got to be all in. It's got to be 100% in the way she wanted it done. So he didn't have the parts for the big one. So he's like, yeah, I'll make her a mini one. So
I can go.
High five.
Wait.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna let her use. I'm gonna give her the giant hill.
Okay. He speaking of butterfly knives, yes, they are pretty much illegal. But when he was little, he still is. He got his first butterfly knife, not real, the practice one, which is all dull, right? You can't stab nobody or anything. But dude, bro, he's been doing it for about 3 years. He is like a freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. He's like, I'm like, what the, bro? It's awesome to see him.
All the knife guys are into them, but like I'm just not a knife guy, and it's one of those things where I like somehow screw up and forget it was in my pocket and end up somewhere in a metal detector or some shit.
Dude, I'm bad with it too, man. See, here's one of his
there you go.
Practice ones. And man, dude, them things are not cheap, bro. Here, let me slide out the way. Put on a little demo real quick.
This is how you open it.
Put this on.
So you have this. This is like the sharp side. So it has the sharp. You hold it on this side because it's not sharp. You need to hold it, and this is how you open it.
And you got to watch your fingers, right, so that you're not.
Yeah, but you hold it on the safe side so it doesn't get you.
Oh, so all that twirling, you're never actually chopping your finger off. You're just you're on the other side.
Yeah, I'm hitting this side.
Okay.
And when I do it, I put my finger here instead of that side. Well, if you want to do this trick where you spin around your finger, you have to hold the bite handle. That's what you call it. Because if you like get your finger, it like bites because it's sharp.
Yeah.
You hold the side where it's sharp. When you spin it around, you catch the safe one. Like this.
Oh, so it spins out of your hand.
Yeah, like this.
All right, that is a level of dexterity that I shall never achieve in anything. Dude, that's cool. That's gotta be like it's like the did you ever try that like pen twirling thing?
I mean, I can kind of do some. I know how to like spin around my thumb and then catch it, but
there you go. Once again, something that like I've never actually been effective at.
It's like you like that. Like that. Like
All right, put Dad back on so we can finish out the show.
Oh gosh. Almost.
Yeah, I think both your dad and I are never going to get to the level where we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, put Dad back on. Put the ears back on your dad so we can finish out the show.
Bro, he's good, ain't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, anything they're into, like, well, let them have at it.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a pro league. I'm sure there's a pro league in that, whatever that like butterfly knifing is called.
Dude, it's like, yeah, and it's cool because I seen his whole kind of progression to it too, right? And then I kind of like when you're the dad, you're like, yeah, that's cool, and you kind of do your own thing, you're whatever, cooking dinner, blah blah blah, and then Tom's such a thief, and the next thing I know, it only seems like a couple of days later, he's just like, I was
well,
like,
it could have actually been a couple of days later because they learn a lot quicker than we do. I'm slow to learn. I have to do everything 1,000 times. That was actually part of the reason I got to be a decent instructor, is because I had to learn everything the painful way. I'm not like naturally good at anything. So it's like, okay, let me figure out how it works. Let me figure out what to do. Let me,
facts.
When you learn things the hard way, like when you have to like step through them, then it's easier to explain how to step through them to somebody else.
True. Very, very true. We got another good buddy of mine in the house, and legend Spencer Humphreys, bro. What is up? Oh man, he says, "Oh, let's go." How you been, bro?
Spence is great. Spence worked for Spence did his brother Tyler worked for me for like 15 minutes, and Spence works for my buddy Scott, Tony Pags, Scott's Power Sports. I actually bought his race SV when he was getting rid of it.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, Sergey, dude, this has been absolutely a proper mega time. We're an hour and freaking almost 42 minutes. And this, man, time goes by so fast when you're sitting down with your friends having a lot of fun. But we will definitely part 2, part 3, part 4. Man, we still got so much to talk about. This is the beauty about a podcast too. You get in depth on something and you never know where it's going to go, right? Again, absolute honor to have you on the podcast. I'm gonna get off here in a minute and go feed him his ramen noodles and try not to get stabbed by this butterfly knife, right? Let's just be honest. So listen, I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but I just want to say something real quick that I always say to everybody. It's because of every single one of you guys and girls, including Sergey. It's the reason why I'm able to do this. So it's nothing but love for every single one of you guys and girls out there. I get so much love and support. It means so much to me. And it's an absolute honor. So thank you. If you have not had the chance yet, go hit that ding, 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 that bell. You guys know the deal in the routine. Like I'm not a big analytic guy. Like I do it out of my love naturally, right? Everything that comes is a bonus. But I looked at it the other day and there's a lot of people that watch the podcast, but not a whole lot of people that hit that bell button, right? So do me a favor, hit that bell. It does help me out a whole lot, and I appreciate it. Yeah, man, big shout out to Next Level Financial, also Next Level Suspension, right? BisonTrack.com, Chef Eats, TST Industries, the ClothingKings.co.uk, Superbike Supply, SFL Mini GP, RD Racing, Vet2 Track, Flying Eyes Optics, 64 Degree Racing, Ghetto Customs, Carnes Performance, KYT Helmets, K-Tech Suspension, RTR, Coleman Power Sports, McLeo Escapes Track and Tour, Road Racing World. I need you guys to go to roadracingworld.com, sign up, please donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have them. If we didn't have the air fence, the corner marshals, the ambulance, guess what? We're not going racing and we're not having fun. So every bit helps. Please donate. And if you happen to go to a Moto America race, Ulrich has his 2-up ride there. I think the minimum donation is like $350. You get a 2-up seat ride with Chris Ulrich, which is proper mega fun. Chris, I know you listen to this. I need that 2-up ride, baby. Really looking forward to it. Big shout out to STG, Brian Van, Max Van. I got a couple buddies that make graphics. So if anybody's in the market for graphics, look no further than Drip and Wet, REB Graphics, or GRG, which is Gus Rodeo. Big shout out to Venom Undersuits, BTR, Build Train Race Program. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of them. Next race you go to, I think their next round, when is BTR's next round? It's not Road America, I think. Anyway, if they're there, make sure you stop by, say hi, get pictures, get autographs with all the girls. Big shout out to Racer 401 program at tepinracing.com. Big shout out to my man Michael Kellum at Hyper Naked leather suits. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Yeah,
well,
dude.
That's my suits.
I know it is. I know, dude. He's such a great guy. I can't wait to meet him in I call it real life too as well, right? So yeah, big shout out to Moto Mutt International. So my buddy Israel's actually bought my buddy Rob Oliva's Ducati 748. He's off across the pond, right? So maybe he'll be at the TT. I don't know what's going on. I'm waiting on him to hit me up. So he's out there right now. So good luck to him. Again, plug on the TT. Listen, TT is the most epic race you're ever going to see in your whole entire life. It is getting ready to happen. They call it the Fortnite. It's 2 weeks of racing. What are you guys waiting on? ttplus.com. Or you can go to your app store and download it. It's a free download. I think it's $30, right? But with that, they have videos you can watch for free, like Between the Hedges. Have you seen Between the Hedges?
Yeah, like the interview one.
Freaking awesome, man. They got the 3rd season out. Of course, I binge watched everyone. Like I was glued to the TV the other day. Like I cut the phone on silent, put it down, and was just like, Nikki's talking to me, my wife, Rossi's climbing all over me, and I'm just like, nothing else matters, right? That's how focused I am.
Yeah,
that's one thing about me, Sergey, right? Because me and you are a lot alike when it comes to that. Like, if I'm fully committed and I love it, bro, I'm so hyper focused on it. Literally, the bomb could fucking blow up. And they're like, you're gonna die in 3 seconds. I'm like, oh, but I'm living right now, right? It don't fucking matter.
So you got to think, like, probably most motorcyclists got to be ADHD in some way, and one of those things is if it's exciting, we're all in and nothing else happens.
Nothing. 100%. But yeah, so that's it for me. Again, thank you guys for joining and tuning in. If you guys happen to catch this middle, towards the end, whatever, you can go to my YouTube channel as soon as I end this podcast here in a minute and rewatch it. Or if you wait, it'll be out everywhere, Spotify, Heart, and all that good stuff tomorrow, where I'll tag Sergey and all that good stuff on social. But yeah, dude, listen, it's been an honor, man. It's an honor. And I say this all the time. It's more of an honor to be friends with you than anything else, man. And because of our love and passion for motorcycles, it brings us here to where we are today. So nothing but love to you, Sergey. It's been an absolute honor, my friend.
It's the honor is all mine. I always feel like I'm kind of the mediocre nobody, but it's really cool to actually like be on a show for once, other than my own YouTube or whatever.
Right. Well, listen, me and you gonna sit down and do this many times. So get used to it, my friend. And next time, I would love to see your kid, man. You should bring him in and introduce him to everybody.
Yeah, if we schedule around bedtimes and
I know. I trust me, I'm a dad. I know the routine. It was like, because when my son was that age, I'm like, bro, like you got to leave. Like he's getting ready to go down. There's no noise, no nothing. Like
everything has to stop, and like
stop.
Because if you don't do it right when you need to, it's gonna be a shit show.
It is a shit show. It's hell. It's bad moods and tempers and all that. But listen, I won't keep you any longer, dude. Sergey, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can go up to Mad V8 Cycles and all that.
All right. So the shop is mad8v.com. Like if you just do that, mad8v.com. Well, no, I was just covering up the cycles.
I know.
The YouTube channel is Mad8v Cycles. I mean, you get almost everybody. If you have an SV650, you probably know me, or somebody who knows me. If you don't, I be cool to meet up, or just shoot me a line if anybody needs anything SV parts related. Used parts, like repair parts. I don't really stock too much new stuff. If I don't have any sponsors to thank, but I absolutely stand on the shoulders of giants like New Jersey Mini GP. I would be nowhere. I would be still squidding on the street, or just quitted if I hadn't found them. Guys like Mike Skornick, Steve Long, Speedworks, Mike Skornick's Triple Strong Racing, Tony Pag's one of my favorite people in the paddock. Like guys I race with, like I learn more from other people I race with than anything. I also learned what not to do if your name's Dave White.
We'll save that for part 2.
Yeah. But anyway, so all the customers, all the really actually fast guys, because I'm not, who, maybe you're rocking my sticker, maybe not. You don't have to. I appreciate the hell out of all of you, and literally everybody who's cool. Like, I love my SV family. I love my motorcycle family. Like, it's rare that you find somebody who's not cool in the track scene.
Facts.
Or even in the SV scene. Like, street SVs, perfectly awesome.
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. We're all under the same beautiful circus, and we're the only circus in town where the clowns gotta pay to play, which is me and him and most everybody, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Well, anyway, listen, you go hang out with the family, tell everybody I said hello, I'm a big hugger, give everybody hugs. I'll shoot you my address.
Bear hug.
Yeah, bear hug, virtual hug, right?
Yeah.
What
was that COVID thing? Everybody was doing fist bumps.
Yeah, fist bump, right? Dude, so I'll get my stickers in. I'm gonna shoot you a bunch of them. Shoot me the number. You know what we talked about before with the shirts and all that. I'll sort it out for you too as well. But yeah, listen, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. And on that note, good night, world. All right, let me end this.
See ya.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.